share a few remarks on the Turkic world, economies of Turkic world, comment on the capabilities, potential, and my wish for integrated Turkic prosperity. Before we start, I would like to share some valuable information about our potential as Turkic countries. Actually, together our member states represent a unified economic force with a combined GDP of $1.8 trillion, and on top of that, our Turkic world, Turkic countries aggregate population is 170 million, of which is 40 million is younger population, and younger population brings two perspectives, two advantages. One of them being as a workforce, human resource capital, and of course another perspective is market potential from the consumption perspective. So all these are very compelling fundamentals for our for the global investors who have interest in our region. And if we come together and unite our force, we can really unlock a lot of opportunities for our countries. If we switch into trade and investment realities, I would like to share some statistics with you. The trade among the organization of Turkic state countries have reached to $45 billion. And aggregate global trade turnover of our OTS countries has reached to $1.2 trillion. And if you look the directions where our exports are directed in terms of the regions, it's 28% to Asia, while 60% to Europe. These are very important statistics, and when we look at the intra-regional trade partners of our countries, for instance, in top 10 trade partners of, if you put energy and gas, oil and gas aside, Hungary and Turkey, as a member of our fund, they do not have any Turkic countries within the top 10, while Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan have only Turkey, and Kyrgyzstan has Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkey. So there is a room for development, and from the intra-regional trade perspective, we see non-energy room for the non-energy trade development among these countries. So this calls for a deliberate unified approach, efforts from all of us. And in the recently, when we look at our region, our countries do attract a lot of attention by global investors. It's not coincidence that in the last 2 decades, the foreign direct investment in Turkic world has increased tenfold, reaching to $600 billion. So, and we come here as a Turkic Investment Fund, we can play a vital role as a bridge, institutional bridge to global investors who have interest in coming to our region, who wants to invest in our region, and so forth. And for this, we need to have a broader broader growth strategy that puts energy a bit aside, because energy is also important, but not sufficient. Our younger population, our interconnectivity demands a more diversified economic model to unleash all potentials, and also emphasize high value industry, innovation, entrepreneurship, and so forth. And then I would like also to comment on the several strategic objectives, goals of Turkic world. As you always can hear from the speeches of our heads of state, they put a great emphasis on transportation and logistic infrastructure. And actually it should be on the top of our agenda in this day. And the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, which is also a middle corridor, plays a very important transformational, holds a very important transformational potential. Last year in 2024, the volume of cargo transited through Middle Corridor has increased by 62%, reaching to 4.5 million tons. And as per World Bank statistics, if our countries keep strengthening Middle Corridor projects, and if we do continue investing in the projects that foster Middle Corridor, this figure will be almost triple by 2030, reaching to 11 million tons. So, and another important factor that we need to envisage is closing the tech gap. Because when we look at the high-tech exports of Turkic countries, it's just 4% of total exports, while low-tech exports comprise 17%. So this really shows a great need for investments in research and development, technology, innovation, and so forth. And we cannot forget about the importance of small and medium enterprises in this aspect, because they're kind of economic powerhouse behind every economy in the world, and they constitute 90% of world businesses, and as well as 70% of employment in the world. That is why, as in an Turkic Investment Fund, also we will provide financing to SMEs, small and medium enterprises in Turkic region. And strengthening SMEs mean also strengthening domestic resilience and global competitiveness. I would like to conclude my remarks with a quotation from His Excellency Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev that he stated during the plenary opening session a couple days ago, saying investments not only guarantee economic development but also peace and stability. So let's unleash our potential together, and today with the insights and strategies that will be shared by our distinguished speakers are not only timely but essential. All this will contribute to identifying practical solutions and international collaboration areas, and so to drive our what we envisage as integrated Turkic prosperity. Thank you. I would like to thank Investment Promotion Agency and the Ministry of Investment, Industry and Trade for organizing this very important event together with OTS members and Turkic Investment Fund present. And I would like to thank each of you in advance for your contributions. And today I would like to kick off the panel session. And before starting, I would like to provide several hints that the panel will be conducted in English, but speakers are free to provide also in Russian. As well as, let's be conscious of time constraints, just 5 minutes each speaker. And here, I would like to first direct my question to the host country, Head of Investment Promotion Agency, Mr. Mansurjan Rasulov. And all these days we have been discussing about Uzbekistan reforms. With the committed economic liberalization, we see significant progress, and would like to ask you to elaborate how these reforms reshape the investment landscape in Uzbekistan. What opportunities do we have as international financial institutions, also international organizations and countries, global investors, and what do you see for cross-border cooperation? Thank you very much.
Thank you for extensive introduction and this very interesting question. Indeed, Uzbekistan has embarked on a very challenging and ambitious reform plan, which we started back in 2017 under the leadership of our president, His Excellency Shavkat Mirziyoyev. And it was a very difficult period of time, and the only, I think, the magical element that allowed us to succeed through this process was the political will, unwavering will of our president to go through the most painful reforms that we undertook in 2017, 2018. And it was very interesting situation when we were going through so much difficulties performing those reforms, but the global community were not convinced. The international investors were not jumping at Uzbekistan. They still had reservations, they had doubts. Is that actually happening? Aren't they reverting back to the status quo as it was back in 2016 and before? So we thought that doing these reforms should be enough to attract investors, but it turned out that you don't just perform these reforms, you stay on track. You continue doing these reforms and you show in action how committed you are to these reforms. And that changed the perception. It's really hard to change the image of a country as an investment destination, and we were able to do that. Our deputy minister already mentioned the numbers, but I'll have to repeat them. In 2017, we attracted only 3.4 billion of foreign investment. Last year, in 2024, we attracted 34.9 billion of foreign investment. We're talking about tenfold increase. And you can see this change when you go outside, when you walk across Uzbekistan, when you walk across Tashkent. This change is noticeable. It is actually happening there. And now I want to talk a little bit about what Uzbekistan has to offer to foreign investors. When you talk about emerging markets, what you often see is a high level of liquidity on these markets, high interest rates. In fact, if you take your money in Uzbek sums and deposit on a local bank here in Uzbekistan, you get interest rates at about 25%, 27% risk-free, guaranteed by the state. It's great for the population and it's very bad for capital markets. Nobody wants to buy shares when you can just go and throw your money at the bank and get the guaranteed interest rates. So now the SME sector, the businesses that are developing in Uzbekistan, thanks to these reforms, they face a challenge of attracting capital. It's really hard to raise capital when your capital markets competing against lucrative options, alternatives such as bank deposits. This offers international financial institutions, private equity funds, investment funds, unlimited opportunities in Uzbekistan to provide financing to all sorts of projects. At Investment Promotion Agency, we see ourselves as a matchmaker. Our job is to find good businesses in Uzbekistan and match them with good investors from outside. I have to admit, working with foreign investors, they are the most brave people in the world. I would really think twice before taking my money and investing them overseas in another country where I don't understand the culture. I don't know how business is done out there. I understand how it's done in Uzbekistan, but I don't know how it's done in the United States, for instance, right? These people are very brave, and our job is to help these brave people find the right people, help them navigate the legal landscape, help them understand how markets work. I recently was conducting consultations with one company from Europe. They have great business case they want to do in Uzbekistan in agriculture sector. But they came with the assumption that the business in Uzbekistan is set up the same way as it's in Europe. So they will find 3 companies who will be their suppliers, they will sign the contract, done deal. All the raw materials will be supplied on time. We invited another company in Uzbekistan, works in the same sector, who explained them, this is not how it works in Uzbekistan. If you want to succeed here, you have to vertically integrate into the value chain as much as you can. And that's how you can avoid making mistakes that some foreign investors do. So I hope I was able to address the question about investment opportunities and challenges, but I want to underline again that emerging markets are very lucrative, but there are some caveats. We hope to see that these interest rates with the bank loans and the interest rate of the central bank will continue this trend to reduce. And as we see these interest rates going down, we will see the uptake of capital market, uptake for the interest for the capital in Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mansurjan Rasulov. In very insightful and I would say motivational remarks. And as I would like to kind of compliment and just support that actually indeed tone at the top, perseverance and commitment to continuous commitment is very important to achieve these goals. And on top of that, as you also touched the SMEs, they're the backbone of the economy. And we as Turkic Investment Fund can come into the picture, providing access to finance to SMEs. Thank you very much. And I would like to direct my questions to Mr. Yusuf Abdullayev, the head of Investment Promotion Agency of Azerbaijan Republic. And in recent years, Mr. Abdullayev, Azerbaijan has emerged as a regional energy and logistics center, especially in the context of post-conflict, particularly in Karabakh region. How the country's investment strategy is evolving after this? And as host of COP29, could you please elaborate how country is managing also the transition from the traditional sectors, like energy sectors, into green, agricultural, technology sectors? What specific incentives and frameworks can Azerbaijan offer? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramil Babayev, for hosting this session and for the question. First of all, I would like to say my words of congratulations to our brothers from Uzbekistan for organizing such a big and very important platform as a Tashkent International Investment Forum. It's the fourth time in a row they do it with the big success, and I do believe that they will do it in a row for the next years. And of course, would like to say hello, salam alaikum to our audience, and to his team guests and His Excellency Baghdad Kurtaevich. It's very, for me, it's an honor to be here, and thank you for inviting me here for this platform. Actually, Azerbaijan, for the last 20 years, has made enormous reforms in terms of attracting foreign direct investment and investors. You know that the region is very complicated, and Azerbaijan has had the conflict with the neighbor, but in 2020, for 44 days, we managed to take back our land and liberated all our territory with the war in the Second Karabakh War and the anti-terror operation in 2023. So, by the way, we invested, the Karabakh now is looking as a big, huge construction yard, and we invested more than $10 billion for the last 4 years in that region. And $10 billion, it's not foreign direct investment, it's the budget money which we spend from the government. And also, of course, we would like to see more and more foreign companies, investors in that region. But unfortunately, we cannot say that we have investors, but we have contractors, many companies from Turkey, from Hungary, from UK, all around the globe, but they are operating mainly as a contractor, but not as an investor. We understand that there are some issues, security issues, but we are heavily in the process of demining of the Karabakh, and I think you and other colleagues and Baghdad Kurtaevich visited Karabakh many times, and they witnessed what's happening, and of course it's not compatible what we've done like 5 years ago, what we've seen 5 years ago, and what we're seeing now. But still, Azerbaijan is offering very competitive incentives for investors. As industrial zones, industrial parks, we have a free economic zone. Alat free economic zone is the operating under the exterritorial principles, and I can say that it's some kind of unique in the region, as we call it AFEZ, Alat Free Economic Zone, and I think that my colleagues is also familiar with this zone. In terms of providing incentives in liberated territory, we also, starting from 2023, we provide incentives for the businesses which are operating in the liberated territories. There is no taxes for any kind of taxes, and also we provide a subsidy for the local businesses who would like to make a business in the Karabakh region. So this is very important to know. And by the way, we've been in since 2024 in the process with the one local Uzbek company in order to organize production in Karabakh region, and we do believe the company is very famous in Uzbekistan. We don't want to name it, but we do believe that we will succeed with that project, and of course we will tell the name of the company and the project. In terms of course, the Azerbaijan is very known for its oil and gas resources, steel, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, but still the main export product of Azerbaijan is oil, but now we added the gas, and we are exporting, by the way, gas to 12 countries, which 10 of them is European countries, European Union countries. But of course, as you mentioned in your question, that for us it's very important to this phase of transition, and our state oil company, and we're trying to transit all the mindsets. Our state oil company now in the process of transition. It's not a oil and gas company now, it's a energy company, and within the oil and gas company we created Sokar Green, which is very active, and as you mentioned in the question, last year we organized the COP29 forum. It was the biggest forum which we organized since our independence. We hosted almost 100,000 people, more than 80 head of states, prime ministers, and the main idea was that the Azerbaijan is on the track of transition, and in 2022 the president has signed a decree about our social development strategy for 2030, and we have within that strategy we have main 5 pillars, and one of the main pillar is the transition. It's a green transition, and by the way, Karabakh region has been announced as the full green region in Azerbaijan. I think it's also very important to mention. And of course, as I've said, the process of diversification, the process of transition is always the heavy process. It's very easy to say, but very hard to do. But as I've said, it's very related to the mindset. So you have to change the mindset of the people, of the businesses. And of course, we know that there will be some incentives implemented within the European Union as the new taxes, as a CBAM. So now we also, as Gazprom, heavily work with our exporters to adapt their production in order they to can able to export their products starting for 2026 to European Union. So this is a process. Of course, these all processes are very crucial. But as I've said, we managed to create a very comfortable conditions for investors, and of course was also enjoying the foreign direct investment. But I would like to say that we would like to see more and more investment from not only the Turkic states but all around the globe. But would like to also comment on the small comment on the initiative and the memorandum. I think it's very crucial, and I think we're a little bit late because we have a fund, we have a Turkic chamber, and I think this initiative also could be raised like 2 or 3 years ago. But nevertheless, we have it now in the pocket, and of course we are very happy to be the part of this Turkic states investment promotion agency path and network. So for us it's a big privilege, and of course we as Gazprom, as the agency, are very supportive for this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullayev, actually, for the comprehensive overview. And I have made a lot of notes, and I treat it as a call for global investors to come and invest in Karabakh. And as it's a full green region, and on top of that, I'm glad to see that first investors in Karabakh are our Turkic countries. It's also an honor, and hopefully in the near future, once the Dengizur corridor also opens, it's going to be very, very important for all Turkic world, or for middle corridor or transportation routes. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Mr. Yerzan Yelekev to deliver his presentation. Actually, Kazakhstan plays a pivotal role in the region, and in the context of shifting global dynamics, we do realize that Kazakhstan evolving strategic priorities. So could you please share us with the notable developments recently, as well as how your agency is contributing to Kazakhstan green and digital transformation, and what concrete steps are being taken to streamline the investment policies and procedures to give confidence for the international global investors? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babayev. Thank you. Dear colleagues, first and foremost, allow me to express my sincere appreciation for this opportunity to speak at such significant forum, the meetings of the needs of investment promotion agency of Turkic world. And I would say my personal thanks to Baghdad Kultavich for your contribution. I know your contribution is very huge. Today's platform opens a new horizons for strengthening economic ties, coordinating efforts to attract investment and creating a solid foundation for the sustainable growth of our countries. In the context of global transformation, uniting efforts within the Turkic space is gaining particular importance. Our common language, cultural affinity, historical connections serve as a strong foundation for forming effective investments alliance and joint projects. Geopolitical tensions last year around the world are increasingly affecting the flows of FDI. Recent global conflicts and crises have disrupted established investment patterns, resulting in unstable investment relationships. The ongoing decline in investment in new projects and international project financing highlights the need for reliable, diversified strategies for attracting and maintaining investment, especially in sectors that are critical for sustainable development. In light of these circumstances, I propose considering cooperation in the following steps. Number one, launching a regional digital platform and single investment window or one-stop shop based on modern technologies, including elements of distributed ledgers, such as blockchain, with the potential involvement of technical assistance from international organizations, such as UNESCAPE, ADB, EBRD, and so on. The second one, forming a joint pool of investment projects and identifying sectorial niches for interstate cooperation in areas such as agro-processing, renewable energy, manufacturing, and mechanical engineering. The third, enhancing coordinating analytics and exchange on investment leads and standardization of support reporting frameworks. You know that today's world, data-driven economy is very important. The next one, organizing joint initiatives to promote the region as a unified investment zones, including roadshows, sectorial presentations, and participation in global forums. Last not least, as an example of potential cooperation, we may consider the field of renewable energy, implementing cross-border renewable energy projects with subsequent export of electricity or green certificates to European Union countries through Azerbaijan's infrastructure. This approach is currently under discussion with the UE climate program and may qualify for access to green financing. I'm confident that the outcomes of today's meeting will make a meaningful contribution to the development of mutually beneficial cooperation and help to achieve common goals our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for these insightful remarks and solid proposals. Actually, I hear your call about unified approach, single digital solutions, and also the proposal to leverage cross-border green projects, energy projects as a gateway, and also attracting the regional countries. Thank you very much, Mr. Yerzan Yelakeyev. Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Farhad Iminov. Actually, Kyrgyzstan also, as located in the central heart of Asia, Central Asia, and recently we do see very good progress in terms of, if you look at the GDP figures, in last 2 years, the GDP figures surpass 6% each year, and it's kind of top in Central Asia. And in this, I would like to ask you, what are the strategic investment priorities for Kyrgyzstan in the near future, as well as given the rapid developments of Kyrgyzstan digital ecosystem, particularly in blockchain and virtual assets, how do you envision this shaping the investment climate in Kyrgyzstan? Thank you.
Спасибо большое, уважаемый модератор. Спасибо за предоставленное слово. Уважаемые коллеги, уважаемые участники встречи, дамы и господа. От имени Национального агентства по инвестициям при президенте Кыргызской Республики позвольте всех вас поприветствовать и выразить благодарность агентству по привлечению иностранных инвестиций при Министерстве инвестиций, промышленности и торговли Республики Узбекистан, а также Тюркскому инвестиционному фонду за организацию этого важного мероприятия. Отрадно, что сегодняшняя панельная сессия проходит в рамках 4-го Ташкентского международного инвестиционного форума, который стал крупной международной площадкой для обсуждения перспектив устойчивого экономического роста и углубления инвестиционного сотрудничества в регионе. Наша сегодняшняя встреча – это не только возможность обмена мнениями, но и практический шаг к укреплению взаимодействия между профильными ведомствами стран Организации тюркских государств в сфере инвестиций. В этом контексте мы видим значительный потенциал для создания институциональных механизмов поддержки инвестиций, гармонизации стандартов и процедур, а также формирования общего инвестиционного пространства. Считаю также важным наладить сотрудничество между нашими ведомствами по обмену опытом и информацией относительно привлечения инвестиций в ключевые отрасли, эффективных форм государственно-частного партнерства, деятельности свободных экономических зон и индустриальных зон. Что касается формирования совместных производственных цепочек, убежден, что это должно перестать быть абстрактной концепцией и стать конкретным инструментом для стимулирования экономического роста наших стран. Только объединяя усилия, мы можем выстроить единую инвестиционно-привлекательную платформу тюркского мира. Уверен, что итоги сегодняшнего круглого стола, подписанным нами меморандум о взаимопонимании, а также запуск тюркской сети по продвижению инвестиций, станут важной отправной точкой для взаимовыгодного и устойчивого сотрудничества. Уважаемые коллеги, в текущее время в Кыргызстане наблюдается макроэкономическая стабильность. За последние годы темпы роста ВВП демонстрируют устойчивую положительную динамику. В 2023-2024 годы рост составил более 6%, что выше среднего показателя по региону Центральной Азии. Под руководством нашего уважаемого президента Кыргызской Республики Садыра Нургулжоевича Жапарова реализуются масштабные проекты во всех ключевых отраслях от сельского хозяйства до цифровой трансформации экономики. Активно развивается туризм, зеленая энергетика, легкая промышленность. Прилагаются усилия для раскрытия транзитного потенциала страны. Ключевым инфраструктурным проектом, способным трансформировать транспортную карту региона, является строительство железной дороги Китай-Кыргызстан-Узбекистан. Реализация данного проекта позволит значительно сократить сроки доставки грузов, снизить транзитные издержки и сформировать новый евразийский мультимодальный коридор. Уважаемые участники, Национальное агентство инвестиций при президенте Кыргызской Республики активно внедряет механизмы защиты инвесторов, предоставляет налоговые и таможенные преференции, включая льготы в рамках свободных экономических зон, а также обеспечивает сопровождение проектов по принципу единого окна. Кроме того, последовательно совершенствуется инвестиционная политика. На сегодняшний день уже разработан новый закон об инвестициях, предусматривающий усиленные гарантии для инвесторов и современные подходы к регулированию. Хотел бы также поделиться информацией о проводимой работе в Кыргызстане по развитию сферы виртуальных активов и блокчейн-технологий. В 2022 году был принят закон о виртуальных активах, который четко определяет правовой статус виртуальных активов, регулирует деятельность майнинговых компаний, криптовалютных обменок и криптобирж. За 2024 год в Кыргызстане оборот криптовалют составил более 7 миллиардов долларов. В мае текущего года при президенте Кыргызской Республики был создан Национальный совет по развитию виртуальных активов и блокчейн-технологий. Я возглавляю его исполнительный орган, секретариат Национального совета. В текущее время ведется работа по запуску цифрового СОМа, формированию государственного крипторезерва, а также внедрению блокчейн-технологий в ключевые отрасли развития страны. В стране на данный момент официально зарегистрировано 8 майнинговых компаний, а поступления налога на майнинг в 2024 году значительно превысили прогнозные показатели. Кроме того, более 140 криптообменных пунктов действуют на территории Кыргызстана, более 10 криптобирж и 3 компании-эмитента цифровых валют, криптовалют, прошедших регистрацию и лицензирование. Кыргызстан заинтересован в обмене опытом по вопросам регулирования виртуальных активов, обеспечения безопасности критически важной инфраструктуры, повышения цифровой финансовой грамотности населения. Мы также открыты для партнерства с блокчейн-компаниями, инвестиционными фондами, разработчиками и интеграторами цифровых решений наших братских тюркских государств. Дорогие коллеги, в заключение хотел бы сказать, что в Кыргызстане уже начался туристический сезон. С каждым годом растет число гостей из тюркских стран на озеро Иссыкуль, который славится своей уникальной природой, мягким климатом, экологически чистыми продуктами. Пользуясь случаем, хотел бы пригласить своих коллег и присутствующих здесь в зале посетить Кыргызстан, насладиться прекрасной природой, отдохнуть у нас на озере Иссыкуль. Спасибо большое за внимание.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iminov, and thank you for invitation. And actually, and for visionary presentation, it's very interesting and commendable to see Kyrgyzstan at the frontier of blockchain, digital finance, which really lacks the region. And you have already built special muscle on that, and we can count as member countries on your capabilities, blockchain capabilities. Thank you very much, and I would like to give the floor to Mr. Mahmut Muhittin Keskin. And as we know, Turkey has long been a dynamic bridge for the region, not just from the middle corridor perspective. Turkey has a strategic role in connecting East and West, and Turkey is home for a lot of large-scale investors. And recently, we do see remarkable foreign direct investment inflows to Turkey. And you had an emphasis on quality FDI. That's a new initiative. So, would like to ask how your agency ensures alignment with investment strategies and also countries' long-term transformational goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramil Bey. Dear participants, distinguished guests, it's a great pleasure to be here with you in Tashkent and to address such a valuable gathering focused on regional cooperation. And I also extend my sincere appreciation to our hosts, especially our Uzbek colleagues, OTS and Turkic Investment Fund for organizing this timely event. As we navigate a period of significant transformation in the global economy, partnerships grounded in trust, resilience, and strategic vision are more essential than ever. Allow me to briefly introduce my institution. The Investment and Finance Office of the Presidency of Republic of Turkey, briefly known as Invest in Turkey, is the official body responsible for promoting Turkey's investment climate and supporting investors throughout their journey. Our office was originally established in 2006 under the auspices of His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and following the transition to presidential government system in 2018, it was restructured to report directly to the President of Republic of Turkey. Most recently, our mandate was expanded to include finance-related responsibilities, and today we operate as the only office directly affiliated with the presidency, reflecting the strategic importance our leadership places on investment and economic governance. Turkey has established itself as a reliable and competitive hub for foreign direct investments over the last 2 decades, attracting over $273 billion of FDI since 2003. In 2024, last year, Turkey attracted $11.7 billion of FDI, marking a 10% annual increase, defying the global downward trend in investment flows. Today, more than 83,000 foreign-owned companies operate in Turkey, up from just 5,600 in 2003. Turkey stands out with a unique combination of structural advantages that make it a highly attractive and reliable investment destination. Located at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, Turkey offers access to 1.3 billion people and $30 trillion in GDP within just a 4-hour flight radius. This strategic position enables seamless integration with global value chains and proximity to major consumer markets. Our country also offers a young and skilled labor force and a growing talent pool, particularly strong in STEM fields, a vital asset for technology-driven investments. Moreover, Turkey offers deep and expanding capital markets, a transparent and investor-friendly legal framework, and a liberalized investment regime underpinned by bilateral investment treaties with 98 countries, all of which contribute to a predictable and competitive investment environment. And Turkey's FDI strategy aims to raise our global FDI share from 1% to 1.5%. We have also recently launched a new report on greenfield investments in Turkey. According to this report, a total of 383 greenfield FDI projects were announced last year, amounting to $14 billion in capex and generating 51,000 new jobs. And 71% of these projects align with Turkey's defined quality FDI profiles, including digital, climate, and GVC-related investments. In line with Turkey's FDI strategy, our country has redefined its investment priorities to focus not only on the volume, but also on the strategic value of foreign capital. Quality FDI refers to investments that strengthen Turkey's economic growth, accelerate technological transformation, enhance global competitiveness, and foster regional development. These investments are seen as a key pillar of our national development agenda, especially in an era shaped by digitalization, sustainability, and shifting global value chains. Turkey has identified 8 quality FDI profiles, which represent the types of investments most aligned with its long-term priorities. These quality FDI profiles are: first, digital FDI and climate FDI, global value chains related FDI, knowledge intensive and also high quality job generating FDI, high-end services FDI, high quality financial FDI, and lastly, regional development oriented FDI. These are the priority profiles, the investment profiles of Turkey right now. Turkey's investment approaches focus on long-term relationships, partnerships, regional integration, and global competitiveness, making it an ideal choice for forward-looking investors. In this regard, we believe that the establishment of Turk IPA network with the participation of investment promotion agencies from Turkic countries will be highly valuable in fostering closer institutional ties. As Invest in Turkey, we actively engage in experience sharing programs with our peer organizations across the world. We have seen firsthand how such cooperation enhances mutual learning and capacity building. We are confident that this network will pave the way for stronger and more effective cooperation among our brotherly institutions in the Turkic world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mahmut Bey. And as we can see in Turkey, recently has shifted its strategy from the volume-based to value-driven investment. It's also interesting to see how it's kind of can be end state for other countries in the region. So I would like to thank our panelists, and I would like to invite now Mr. Erhan Turbadar, our colleague from Turkic Investment Fund, advisor to President on the economic affairs, to make a presentation on the Memorandum of Understanding that will be signed today. Thank you.
Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be today with you here in Tashkent. Although I am of the Uzbek root, this is my first time that I'm in Tashkent, and I hope I will be. This will be first opportunity to come more frequent to this beautiful country. First of all, I would like to thank to our colleagues from Uzbekistan, to Uzbek side, for bringing us together and initiating this initiative of establishing of this network among Turkic investment promotion agencies. And indeed, it is an honor for me to present this protocol, what is about. Before starting saying this, I would like to say that it was in very short period of time that you succeed to manage to adopt one common format to be signed today. This format is actually well-known format. In previous years, we have established several similar networks, bringing different institutions, state institutions, under the same umbrella. For example, we have network of language and similar official institutions. We have network of official economic research centers, which are under the Ministries of Economy. We have network of archaeologists. So this framework was used in these other networks, approved by our member states, approved by our Ministries of Foreign Affairs, and in that way we want to be on the safe side to follow the same format, which will not bring too much bureaucracy, but will enable for the place that you can act together and produce joint results. So thank you all for your contributions to this protocol. You can be sure, as you saw from the distributed Memorandum of Understanding, that all your contributions have enriched the text and make it ready for its signature. This is actually how Turkic cooperation process works. It works in its own way. It is able to produce good results in a short time, and I'm sure that it is not possible sometimes in similar cooperation platforms or other regional initiatives to move so fast and produce concrete results in cooperation process. If we look to the general structure of the Memorandum of Understanding, we see five components in that. First, there is a preamble and explaining the purpose, which explains the motivation for why this Memorandum of Understanding has been signed. We have also legal nature and membership arrangements component, which clarifies that collaboration is non-binding, voluntary in nature, lists the founding members, and opens the door for other Turkic states to join with consent of all members of this network. We have a component which is dealing with objectives, listing the core goals of what this network tries to achieve. Also, there are light institutional arrangements. There is a coordination meeting as a governing body. There are introducing this Memorandum of Understanding also introduce the rotating secretariat of this structure and also enables formation of working groups if necessary and observer partnerships in the future. And the last component of this network, of this Memorandum of Understanding, is its implementation rules. which sets procedures for meetings, decision-making, and official communications. It also includes some rules on possible dispute resolution and amendments of the Memorandum of Understandings. So why this protocol is important, what is it all about? As Mr. Yusuf Abdullayev also already said, we are late. We had to have such a cooperation platform, such a network much earlier. And allow me to share only one survey result that in my previous capacity as Vice President of Turkic Investment Fund in 2023, I had opportunity to work with all your investment promotion agencies in one investment survey. It was about digitalization, but we had good questions regarding the cooperation. What we saw from that survey, it is published in the report on Turkic economies for 2023. What we found in that survey is that only 3 investment promotion agencies of Turkic countries had some established bilateral cooperation initiatives, whereas the rest were not cooperating at all. But to the question that we ask, does they believe if establishing a kind of structure for their concrete cooperation, structural cooperation, would it be of benefit for their investment promotion ecosystem? All investment promotion agencies said that yes, it will be of benefit for our work. So need is there, expectations are there, and now the Memorandum of Understanding is also there. And I, on behalf of organizers, I really thank you all for your support to this Turkic Investment Promotion Network and the Memorandum of Understanding that you are going to sign just a few minutes later. I don't want to go too much into the details of the protocol of the Memorandum of Understanding. Sorry, we had a few versions, so you are aware of all of it. But let me just mention this thing. It is voluntary, which means we, for now, do not have address. We do not have a bank account of this network. It is non-binding in nature, but my experience from my previous career shows the following. If you succeed, and I believe that you will, produce at least 3 joint projects, come with success, show yourself. I want to believe that our countries, our heads of state will support this initiative to grow into something more bigger, institutional. For now, we don't have address, we don't have bank account, but as I said, after 3 your joint projects, I want to believe that this can be grown into a separate institution, maybe an new affiliated organization of the Organization of Turkic State with the address registered in Tashkent. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Ramil Bey. And hopefully today we'll put the seed for the new cooperation mechanism within the Turkic world. And actually, I would like to sincerely thank 2 panelists today. And I must say that I'm really impressed with the level of organizations, with the quality of discussions. This is my first time in this forum, and I leave this forum with wealth of takeaways, new connections, and also renewed vision, optimism about our future investment cooperation within the Turkic family. Thank you very much, and we will have a tour exhibition, and afterwards we will attend the signing ceremony of the protocol. Thank you. Family photo? Yep.